This video will show you how to take a midday break if you've been doing lots of Zoom meetings and you're starting to have the Zoom fatigue. So if you have a tennis ball, squishy ball, a therapy ball, even a dryer ball, something like that to roll your foot along the floor on top of the ball, that would be great. So if you've been seated at your desk and you're on a break, come to stand with your feet underneath your hips. As you inhale, lift your arms up. Any amount is fine. So if they don't want to come all the way overhead, that's fine. As you exhale, lower your hands by your sides. So linking movement with breath is really important to regain your focus. So you're inhaling, reaching up, and even extend the webbing between your fingers as you inhale. And as you exhale, imagine pushing that air down, and then as you exhale, taking your navel towards your spine. And from the side, and then exhale, push the hands, imagine pushing the air down, pushing the navel towards the spine. Open your chest on your inhale. You can even touch your ceiling sometimes. You can take your gaze up if it doesn't bother your neck, and then exhale, push the arms by your side. Then adding on, if you're ready, you might want to have your desk or your chair just in front of you, just in case your balance is not great. So as you inhale, you'll rise onto the balls of your feet. So finding a point to stare at, and then as you exhale, try and link the release of the heels and the hands by your side. So as you inhale, rise up onto the balls of your feet. And again, the arms don't have to go overhead if you've got any shoulder issues. As you exhale, press your heels into the floor as your hands release by your sides. Try this 3 more times, following your inhale and your exhale. On these last 2, pause for a moment at the tip of your inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale, pause, exhale, release. This time, inhale, pause, find a focal point, and with your heels elevated, you start to bend your knees. So this is a lot of work for your quads. Bend your knees, take your seat back. The heels are still elevated. Finding this elevated chair pose. Then when you're ready, lower the heels, coming into a full extended chair pose. Press into the heels, inhale, and exhale the arms by your sides. So now doing some movements for your upper body. Rolling your shoulders up and back and down. Making a full circle with your shoulders. So if you've been seated and looking down, shoulders start to roll in. Now we're countering that by rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. And then taking your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders and doing the same thing, only this time adding more into it by having the elbows draw circles out and around and down. And linking this with your breath, so inhale for half of the circle and exhale for the other half of the circle. Two more times following your inhale, just noticing, go inside, notice your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice any areas of tension or tightness, as well as any areas of softness. And then bringing that to stillness. And then doing some side stretches. So reaching one arm, any amount is fine. So it could be here, 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 wherever you feel a stretch on the side body. And then lengthening the opposite hand down towards your side. Inhale and switch. You can do this at any pace that feels comfortable for you. So if you want to go slower, go slower. If you want to speed things up, maybe you need a little more energy in the middle of your day. This next time when you stretch to one side, take your gaze down towards that leg, and then take your gaze up towards the top hand, and just notice what you feel in your neck. Down towards the floor, and then up towards the top hand. Release and switch sides. So first reaching over, and then taking the gaze down towards the leg and up towards the top hand. Do this movement slow enough so at least you notice the sensations all along your neck. And release. And again, roll the shoulders. And pause. Okay, so now if you can go barefoot on this midday Zoom break, I highly encourage going barefoot and having a tennis ball, a squishy ball, a therapy ball, or a dryer ball. So what this is going to look like, and you'll have a chair nearby to help you for balance, you're going to be rolling one foot with the ball. So what this looks like is the floor is here and you're rolling your foot. So you're going to roll from the ball of the big toe back to your heel, and then the middle toe back to your heel, etc. All the way through. So rolling all the way through your foot several times, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so this is what it actually looks like to roll your foot along a ball. So I've got my chair here and my hand can be placed there in case I need some balance. I'm going to root down into one leg, and then as I feel grounded and secure between the leg and even the hand on the chair, I can place my toe on top of the ball, and I'm just going to start to roll through my foot. So I go from toe to the midfoot to the heel, and then I roll it back. And you might need to make small adjustments if it rolls too far away from you. But you're pressing your foot into the ball so that you can feel each of those. There's tons of acupressure points on the bottoms of our feet. And because we spend most of our day with shoes, socks and shoes, we really lose the sensations that really help us stay connected to the earth beneath us. So it's nice to really roll through all these micro places of our feet. Stay with a neutral breath here as you're rolling back and forth. And when you're ready, release your foot, but before you switch to the other side, just pause, both feet underneath your hips, and see what you notice between the two sides. Not just on the bottom of the foot, but maybe all the way through the leg. And when you're ready, then switching to the other side, you might need to move around. If your chair is on the other side, you might want to switch your body to the other side as well. And when you're doing a second side, always notice what's different. So just asking yourself, what do I notice on the second side that I didn't notice on the first side? When you're doing something a second time, you know where you're going with it. But allow it to be a new experience by keeping just a curious mindset. How does it feel on this side? What do I notice that I didn't notice before? And then placing that foot down and pause and notice. Okay, so now you're back at your desk, and maybe you've been sitting at your desk for a long time with an arched spine, something like this. So now you want to round your spine forward, and you can do that in your seat. So I'll show you from the side. And please be careful if you're working with a chair on wheels. Be careful with any pose that you try to do with a chair on wheels. If you're secure in your seat, you'll slide your body forward. You'll widen your legs so the feet are in the same direction as your hips and your knees. Everything's in alignment, and then we're at an angle. Sitting up with a tall spine, inhale, and then as you exhale, round your spine like you're spilling it forward towards the floor, and then go into any amount, any degree that feels appropriate for you. So sometimes that might be forearms to your thighs, and sometimes it could be hands all the way touching the floor. Making sure that the crown of your head is actually getting some length, so you're releasing through the cervical spine. So create space here by allowing your chin to come towards your chest. And then going again to any degree that feels appropriate in your spine. So working with where you are today. The hands can be at your shins, at your ankles. They can also touch the floor. Take your time in a forward fold. It's all about feeling your breath in your back body. So when you round forward, take enough time so that you feel the expansion on the inhale and the release on the exhale. So I recommend about 5 breaths in a forward fold. And when you're ready to come up, then you'll take your forearms to your thighs. Pause here, let the blood start to come back up. And then heel toe your feet back underneath you. And always pause, gather yourself, get centered before you go on to the next thing. So now I'd like to show you a pose that you can do at home, in a chair that you have at home. It's called legs on the chair. You come to sit on the floor. Come onto one hip and then swing your legs onto the seat of the chair. You have to work with the chair back, so if you have this space, you can slide your feet underneath there. You want to relax the entire calf onto the chair, and then place the rest of your body on your floor. This could also be done on your couch, so you could be resting your legs on your couch cushion. And then if you have a pillow or a nice folded blanket underneath your head, that's a nice prop. Another nice prop is to place a folded blanket, just for the weight of it, on top of your thighs. So that would be on top of your thighs. You can wrap it around you if you want that level of comfort and security. Sometimes just having some weight on our body really helps us settle in. You could place a folded blanket on your belly here, or you can place your hands on your belly. Once you're in this position where the thighs are completely resting on the chair seat, close your eyes and allow yourself to go inward. Feel your breath. With your hands on your belly, you can feel the rise and fall of each breath. Each breath is a resetting. So allow yourself to be very receptive and peaceful in this position. There's nothing else to do here. There's nowhere else to be. This is a pose for resting and resetting. When you're ready to come out of the position, taking one foot at a time, if you like, you can squeeze the thighs and then roll away from the chair. Extend the top arm. Use the arm that was in front of you. Now it's on the floor, and you'll extend the top leg and use that hand to press up. And before you go on to the next thing, always recenter. Appreciate what you just did for yourself. And then go on to your next thing.